Imagine, like a massive toxic chemical spill right in the middle of a city center. You don't just sweep that under the rug, right?
Oh, definitely not. You'd bring in crews in full hazmat suits, cordon off the area.
Exactly. You scour every square inch.
Because the contamination is an existential threat. It demands this really extreme, uncompromising response.
Right. And today's deep dive is into a text that treats spiritual contamination with that exact same hazmat level intensity. We are unpacking a set of religious devotional materials for you today, specifically the 7-step QT notes for August 13th, 2026.
Yeah, and just to be clear right up front, we are impartially analyzing this text. We're not endorsing these theological views, but rather exploring how the source constructs its arguments about human nature, sin, and redemption. Because the way it does it is honestly pretty wild.
It really is. It centers on this incredibly vivid ancient biblical prophecy from Ezekiel chapter 39.
Right, so the context here is God judging this enemy force called Gog and his hordes. And the aftermath of this judgment literally turns a place called the Valley of the Travelers into a massive graveyard.
Yeah, they even rename it the Valley of Hamon-gog, which translates to the hordes of Gog.
Exactly. It's essentially creating a permanent physical monument to their utter defeat. But it doesn't just cut to a quick victory parade.
No, it definitely doesn't. The text details this grueling 7-month-long cleanup operation.
7 months. Just think about that.
Right. The Israelites have to search out and bury every single human bone just to cleanse the land.
And it gets so specific. Like if someone just spots a bone, they don't even touch it. They set up a signpost for designated barriers to come handle it later.
Like actual hazardous waste protocol.
Yeah.
And add to that, the text says God summons birds and beasts to this huge sacrificial feast to consume the fallen warriors and horses.
It's intense. It's this incredibly graphic representation of the total downfall of those opposing him.
Okay, so I'm really trying to wrap my head around this extreme, ancient hazmat cleanup idea.
Yeah.
I mean, if God is all-powerful, why not just snap his fingers to clear the land clean and move on?
Like, why focus so heavily on the gruesome physical logistics of this cleansing rather than just being like, hey, it's done?
Well, the devotional makes a really interesting pivot here to answer that. Think about how we handle invisible threats today.
Okay.
The author actually tells a story about a parent struggling to get their kids to wash their hands after playing outside.
Oh, man. Yeah. Nagging and explaining germs never works.
Exactly. The kids just kept forgetting. But then, the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic hits.
Right. And suddenly everything changes.
Overnight. The fear of severe illness and global shutdowns changed those kids' behavior instantly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they started carrying sanitizer and washing their hands without ever being reminded.
Oh, I see where this is going now. So the author is equating the Israelites' idolatry and disobedience to, like, a deadly spiritual virus.
That's the exact analogy, yeah.
Because the pandemic made the invisible threat of germs terrifyingly real. So this gruesome 7-month bone hunting process in Ezekiel, was that meant to make the invisible threat of spiritual defilement real? That is exactly it. When a threat is abstract, complacency just sets in naturally.
Right, out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the physical horror of burying bones for months on end made the spiritual reality of their disobedience undeniable. It basically takes this abstract concept like sin and forces them to confront the tangible rot of it.
That makes total sense. But here is where the source material took a turn that genuinely surprised me. You have this epic, bloody, apocalyptic prophecy on one hand, right?
Yeah.
But on the other, the text actually warns the modern reader about mundane distractions. Like it asks if a career or spending too much time on a smartphone is taking God's rightful place.
It's a huge contrast.
It really is. I mean, I get the COVID analogy, but how does scrolling on a phone equate to an ancient, bloody battlefield?
Well, it really comes down to how the text defines idolatry. We so often picture idolatry as bowing down to a golden statue.
Right, like something out of an old movie.
Yeah, but the devotional frames it as misplaced priority. It's basically whatever consumes your ultimate focus and trust.
Oh, I see.
So if believers have been cleansed from a deadly spiritual virus by the blood of Jesus Christ, like the text asserts, then allowing a career or a screen to dominate their identity is just a return to the very sickness they were saved from.
Wow. It really scales down this massive divine judgment into this deeply personal call for daily moral hygiene.
It does. The stakes of this cosmic battle are mapped directly onto everyday private integrity.
It really pushes the reader to examine the why behind their moral hygiene. The notes leave you with this final reflection question.
Which is so provocative.
It is. It asks, are you pursuing holiness to earn acceptance or because you have already received grace?
That's a huge distinction.
Think about that in your own life today as you listen to this. When you try to improve yourself or, clean up your life, what is your underlying motivation?
Right. Are you desperately trying to earn your hazmat suit?
Or are you acting like someone who has already been decontaminated? It fundamentally changes the way you actually live.